Satnam, Namaste. Welcome to I Am Woke. I am your host, Emelina. Lucky, do you need to join? Do you want to come over? I got a puppy that might need to make an appearance. He gets a little jelly when I get on camera. Anyway, and I'm adjusting this. Okay, welcome to I Am Woke. I'm your host, Emelina. In today's video, I'm going to take you guys through an energy update for the week of June 16th to whatever the date is on the reading. I don't know. The 16th to the 22nd. Does that sound right? Something like that. Whenever you see this, there will be a message for you. This is intended to be a timeless reading, and the quantum field is real. So energy and time are kind of synonymous. Whenever you catch wind of this and whenever you land on it, it's at the perfect time just for you. Okay, what else we got right now? This is a channeled and collective reading on behalf of the collective of light workers that are awake and conscious and aware on the planet. And I just opened the Akashic records, so I'm going to sit in there and download any messages etherically that come through. I've also got the Law of One in my ear, as well as Divine Mother just popped in. So I may be tossing between those few channels. I'm not sure which ones are going to weigh in more, but we'll see as we go here. If you're new to my world, hello and welcome. I am a cosmic shaman, an Akashic records reader and practitioner, a spiritual coach, a spiritual mentor, a personal branding coach, and a psychic medium. And I help you guys navigate the waves of energy every week, every month, through the year, so that you can build yourself into the best version of yourself, heal, highlight the aspects of yourself that you want to draw more out of, and temper your shadow and your ego. So those are the things. If that sounds like your vibe, go ahead and subscribe. If you're new, tap the bell for notifications, hit that like button, and I love to hear from you guys in the comments. So I'd love to hear from you what resonates in this video. If you're new and you haven't heard yet, I've got a couple of really great freebies that I think you're gonna love, free videos. The first is a meditation where I teach you how to connect to your own internal guidance, your own source connection, so that you can reduce and remove any interference, any psychic interference. It cleans and clears your energy. It's like a healing session in 40 minutes. Anyway, that link is in the description below, as well as a free 8-part video series on reading and starting to get into your own Akashic records, which are the blueprint of your soul, syncing up to your Akashic records and getting the big old downloads that we do through meditation. Those are all the things. All right. Also, you guys, the Sacred Prayers deck, I have been so busy, but it is coming. I will launch this soon. So this is the prototype. And if you are into this, then get on the list in the link below. Get on the Sacred wait list. Okay, I'm just gonna pull a couple of prayer cards. Happy weekend. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Spirit, what do we most need to know right now, today, this week? What downloads do we most need? Oh, that one just flipped. What was that? I pray to know the next right action. There you go, next right action. That tells me that you guys are more in planning stages or in somewhere else mentally. Praying to know the next right action is to place your feet on the ground, get into a space of presence, suspending disbelief, and asking with clarity for what you want to create in your life, and then trusting the next right impulse that comes to move you forward on your sacred journey. I pray to increase my capacity for joy, bliss, and ecstasy. Raise the bar, you guys. Raise the standard for the high vibes. And I pray for divine intervention. So between the two of these, this either tells me that you've got an immediate conflict hanging out in the background of your life, which might be a person, maybe, or a couple of people. I'm saying like a person, like a relationship issue. Only take that if it resonates. As always, take what you love, leave the rest. This is a collective reading. Sometimes there are threads of messages that are for specific people in the way that like my guides and the quantum works. It'll move the right messages in front of the right people, and sometimes they're not for everyone. Now, praying for divine intervention tells me a couple of things. One, I am seeing some relationship conflict. So keep that in mind. If you pray for divine intervention, it'll kind of move in your favor regardless, and you might be able to just like bypass the conflict entirely. Also, I pray for divine intervention tells me that there's a little bit of like drama interference, like ego interference, like your shadow clinging on to old aspects of yourself, areas of doubt or disbelief in what you are able to accomplish or achieve. And that creates a certain level of interference that can feel like a external relationship conflict, but it's really like an internal dialogue between you and you, your lower aspects and your higher aspects. If you pray to increase your capacity for bliss, joy, and ecstasy, you're praying to raise the bar for what you feel you are capable of feeling on a regular basis. If you guys haven't read, oh my gosh, what's it called? It's by Gay Hendricks. What's the book called? The Big Leap, maybe? Is that a different book? I don't remember. Look up Gay Hendricks. It's got like a goldfish on the cover. It talks about like glass ceilings that we build in our mind where we'll like sabotage different happy things that happen to us through conflict, through disagreements or what have you, because we're afraid of like the other shoe dropping. It's like, oh, it'll get too good, too much, too fast. Something bad will happen. So I'll just like sabotage it now myself. Anyway, that's a good book to check out and read. I just saw a really gorgeous bird. Confirmation. Okay. I pray to safely speak my truth. I think you guys are really like stepping out this week, you guys. I'm feeling relationship security. I'm feeling like there might be, and again, only take this if it resonates, that there might be like a lingering conflict or something, whether it's internal or externally in relationship, where you need to safely speak your truth. Like, I pray to speak my truth safely implies that there's someone in the environment to hear said truth. And the emphasis on the safety is that they might not vibe with your truth. They might not be into it to the point where you're calling in divine intervention. I'm going to pull one more card out of the sacred prayer stack, and then I will move into just my straight clairaudient channel. Okay, well. Those two popped, but they ran all the way over there. So I think there's a reason for that and these. There's also a lot of downloads coming in for you guys this week. So just try to temper yourself and like your ability to focus. I pray to see a better way through and to trust it. Oh, that's why they said that. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities this week, like a number of options. I don't know exactly what that means, but know that your attention is going to be pulled in 7 to 10 different ways. So instead of approaching everything in a scattered, like I'll try to get it all done, see all the people, do all the things, you need to be very conscious about focusing your attention and energy on 2 to 3 priorities for the week, and probably like 1 to 2, even 3 priorities per day, just things that can get done and that you can achieve. I pray to see a better way through and to trust it tells me that you're currently on a trajectory that's a little bit harder than it needs to be. Emphasized by, I pray for peace of mind. Also, for those of you that don't know, these prayer cards, this is my prototype that I created with my guides. These are all prayers that I've written down and channeled from the last year that my guides would use to steer me, because prayers create like bumpers on the subconscious mind to keep you from going into guts or rudders or running into issues. I pray that God will do it for me and take care of XYZ issue. Anything that you've got on your plate that you can't quite wrestle with, that feels like a big deal or a problem. You know, our egos like to take problems over and try to solve them ourselves. If you can find a way to quite literally just give it up, give up, surrender, give it up to source, I think you guys would be shocked at the amount of resources that can become available for you. Also, I'm going to mention, I am so distracted. Like my energy keeps getting pulled out the window over there and looking at things. And hi, sweetheart. And hello to everyone that's here and everyone that pops in, obviously. I love these live streams. So I'm getting a big memo. You know, it's coming in several different ways. There's going to be a lot of distraction this week. I don't know why. I don't know what the astrology is. We are in Gemini season. They can feel like you're doing a million different things in a moment. Hello, lovely. So that's the second time that message came in really loudly from Spirit for me in 2 different ways. So here's what I would say for you. If you're catching this video like today or on Sunday, or in the next couple of days, I would make a focus list and I actually would create some intentions for the week. Where do you want your priorities and your attention for the week? And where do you not want it? You know how you're going to get sidetracked. You already know. We don't need to, live it in order to find out. Like, I mean, if I were doing this for myself, I know exactly how I would get distracted if I were to be distracted this week. Now, what Spirit's telling me is you will get distracted this week, so you need a contingency plan. And that's what this is, okay? So after this video, or maybe during this video, maybe pause it, sit down and create a list of 3 to 6 priorities for your entire week. That when you are pulled in different directions with different people and different social events and different fun things and different conversations and different priorities, you're going to pull your butt back down to your list and you're going to look at it and you're going to read it and you're going to say, does that opportunity fit in my list? Yes or no? And if it doesn't, you're going to reject it kindly, sweetly, get it out of your life for the moment. I don't know why. I'm sure they're going to channel in some more knowledge around this for the remainder of this video. But I am seeing that it's very important that you refocus and get very clear on where your priorities are and where your attention is, because it's too easy to become distracted. As I'm saying that, I'm feeling in my channel, all the energy is grounding out and releasing. All right. Which is a confirmation for me. I can feel the energy moving. I feel so much more relaxed now that I've handled that. So that tells me that that's the message that you guys needed. Is there anything else you guys need to say on distracting? Impulses can become distractions too, internal distractions. So if you're avoiding doing things that you need to get done, that have to get done this week, write those priorities down on a paper. You're going to hold yourself accountable all week by reading the paper every morning and looking at it before you make big concrete decisions. Like, I don't know. That's the message. They're telling me that there are certain things that you need to get done, and there's going to be a tremendous amount of distraction and anxiety to try to pull you away from it. Why would that happen? I guess they're just universal forces right now. There are forces in the quantum, in the psychic field, the collective field, that are literally trying to get you off track. We could probably say that all the time, but it's very present in this time space reality. Why? I don't know. I think there's just a sweeping collective energy that I'm seeing and feeling. It almost feels like it's like they're showing it to me like a sonic boom, like a wave that is here to just knock the light workers out temporarily so that a new agenda can be put into place. I don't follow all the conspiracy theories. I don't follow any of them. Honestly, I don't follow any of the alternate agendas. I actually live in the place of just not caring. But that seems to be what's happening, is there's an energy sonic boom wave that causes a certain amount of distraction. So any and all of the light workers forget what they're doing, even just for a moment. If we're all knocked off grid at roughly the same time, space, dimensional reality, then whatever the hell the thing is, that whatever alternate agenda could be put into place. I don't know the specifics. I'm not going to dive into them, but for anyone that needed the explanation, that's roughly what I'm reading, what's going on. Okay, this card flew. I thought there was another one. This one flew out of my left field. Okay, so I pray for exponential and increasing gratitude. Gratitude is always the way to build more spiritual current, but like, you guys, what do we need to know about this? The gratitude will keep you safe. I gotta tune into this energy. This is a very strange energy for me. It feels like it's like a sonic wave hit. Anyway, this is all energy. It's like I'm helping you guys surf the energetic waves. I'm also uncomfortable in my chair, so you're just gonna see me like freaking adjusting. Serenity. Yeah, pray for serenity. That sounds great. Serenity is the word. Serenity. I love the word serenity. It also just reminds me of Seinfeld. I don't know if it's a message for someone right now. What does he say? Like George Costanza's dad? Is it his dad? No. It's like a different character. Serenity now and... Oh my gosh, that is the message. Serenity now, insanity later. Isn't that the Seinfeld quote? I'm going to look it up later. Anyway, they're literally... Thanks for saying serenity. That like clicked all of that into place for spirit. Okay, so serenity now, insanity later. Oh my gosh, they're giving the whole download. Serenity. Tune into you, tune into your frequency, your peace of mind. Look out for yourself. Anything that looks like chaos, anything that looks like conflict, anything that would send you into like a white rage, as my guides call it, like a sacred rage, put it off for later, okay? Serenity now, insanity later. That could be your mantra for this week. So when somebody approaches you with some level of BS, because it sounds like there might be stuff coming, although I'm certainly not projecting that towards you. Again, only take it if it resonates. That's what they're sending through for those of you that do encounter it. Although we are human, so it is fairly practical that you'd run into something. Any issue that comes across this week, as I'm shaking the camera at the table, literally say, serenity now, insanity later. If it costs you your peace of mind and your serenity, tell it to GTFO in whatever way that needs to be done. I'd say kindly, but honestly, I don't know that it matters. I think it just matters that it's out of your energetic sphere. The thing that's going to be the most kind act for you in dealing with these things is handling it in the way that would have the least amount of personal cleanup for yourself, the least amount of mental stickiness where you would keep thinking about it, the least amount of emotional hooks or emotional stickiness where you'd keep feeling it. So whatever way of handling this stuff that is coming on your plate as big distractions will keep you sober, emotionally, sovereign, serene, that's the way you handle it. Now, that can come one of two ways, because, I said be kind in how you treat it. It could be kind as in like you're kind with your speech with someone, or it could be kind as in kind to the self, and you tell someone to literally F off, or you're going to chase them down the street with a shovel. I don't know why Spirit just channeled that through to me, because that sounds aggressive, but that's what came through. So whatever message that is, for whoever it is, here's the reality. As much as I want to just sit and be like, just meditate and pray and just send love and gratitude to everyone. Of course, I am that person as well, but I'm also the human, and the biggest lessons have come to me from and as the human. And dear God, some people need to get hit over the head. Like, there's just no other way to reach them. Like, some people, and these are people with mental illness. We've got psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists. I don't know, and borderline. I don't know what level amount of the population it makes up, but it's enough to be frustrated. Those of you dealing with anyone with any level of severe mental illness, it's not generally a gentle boundary that needs to be put into place. And I think that's why they sent through that level of aggression. I'm also, the card didn't come out, and I'm surprised, but I am going to say right now, let's pray for divine protection from dark forces, because this is all leading me to believe that there's a lot of psychic current around bullshit. So, and you guys know how light my frequency can be. So for that to come through, it tells me there's a wave of it, psychically, consciously, in the collective. Emotionally, there's a wave. It's like being able to see surfing ahead of time. Like I'm watching the energy and I can see the wave, and I'm like, that's a big wave, and they're telling me it's a wave of conflict. So do your best to move away from it, avoid it. Not from the place of avoidance, but kind of. I mean, literally just like, oh, is that BS? Get that out of here. I don't have time for that. And then move back over to your priorities. It's going to be really important to hold on to your own energy this week. Okay, give me one more prayer, you guys, and then I'll just go into my There we go. I pray for clarity and divine guidance. Keep your focus to yourself. Through all the messages I'm getting right now, it just looks like, and these are not things to be afraid of, it's just knowing what's going on. It does look like there's some level of a I don't like going the fear-based route, so I don't even want to talk about it. Let me just channel in and ask them. I'm in the Akashic records. What do you guys want to say here? There's a dismantling of the previous paradigm of what has made many of the people in the collective. So it's almost like you're being given a lot of spiritual energy all at once. We can call this a massive upgrade, a big graduation. In the process of a graduation, there is a tower moment, there is chaos, there could be a fall, depending on how you perceive it. They're showing me my graduation, my high school graduation. So that's what I'm going to bring forward to you guys as something to think about or ponder or contemplate. When you graduated high school or college. Oh, actually, my college graduation. Yeah, totally get it. Two very different experiences. Okay, so contemplate when you graduated high school. Those of you that did go to college, contemplate when you graduated from college. That's a big moment of celebration. Both of these moments, they're big moments. These are big ascension moments for you. You are in that moment right now. The Light Collective is approaching a massive graduation, okay? Everyone's being given a certain lift energetically. There's a big chapter closing, big ascension cycles. You guys are in a big changeover. There's also going to be a transition over the next several months. That's what this is cueing into me. There's a big graduation for the Light Collective, which means there's a big changeover and transition, which means you guys are going to be trying to figure out, like, what do I do with my gifts now that I know that I have them and I know how to use them? What the F do I do? How do I be human with this and, like, feel fulfilled? That's going to be in the next chapter of issues and things that we'll surf and find out energetically. But right now you're going through the graduation. So as you're graduating, and let's say you're approaching college. I like the high school scenario. So you're leaving high school. You're leaving everything that you've known, your hometown. Like, these are the things that are starting to come up. Everything that's familiar to you. You've been living with your family. You're about to go into college maybe and, like, live out on your own or something like that. The senior class, you know, like, what do they call it when the seniors get, like, you know, people that used to hate each other, and then, like, there's this common denominator of graduating, so then everybody kind of gels together and is, like, really happy and lovey-dovey, even though they didn't maybe get along through high school. And there's, like, this trepidation of what comes next, and this joy of, like, oh my God, I made it, and a surrender of, I need to, like, figure myself out. I don't know what my next chapter is going to look like. The surrender of going into the summer after graduation. Most people over that summer after high school are, like, relaxing, like, kicking back, like, having fun with their friends, celebrating to some level before they go, like, really dive into the next big chapter. So that's what we're walking into. They're showing me this entire scenario in a very human way, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you. So that we can understand the feelings of the emotional field that are being triggered this week and upcoming, really this season. For the, you know, I always read the Lightworker Collective and the collective of Lightworkers that are already aware, that they are Lightworkers. So they're already in some level of, like, very conscious ascension, like, wanting to do this work. This is moving a ton of energy. Oh my God, hold on. Sorry, you guys. Release. Some of you might be releasing a lot. And it might just be uncomfortable, just like a burp. Just uncomfortable. Not a big deal, just uncomfortable. maybe inappropriate as well, like me burping on video. I don't normally care because I know it's energy, but they're showing me like, oh, maybe it's a little inappropriate. So maybe some of the ways that you're releasing things out of your life, making room for this like very new chapter, might be a little inappropriate. As inappropriate as burping on camera. Really, they're telling me it's not a big deal, but your families might judge you, give you angst about it, try to control your process. That tells me that your families, and the reason why I put families in quotes is because family is really an idea or construct. It doesn't just mean your blood family. It could be your blood family, it could be your soul family, it could be your friend family. Like it's, you know, take that as it resonates. That even though you are being upgraded, oh wow, this is actually really powerful to hear. Your families are going to, again, whatever the family unit is, are going to not necessarily understand the upgrade because it's not for them, it's for you. And because you're in a process of graduation, and they might not understand what that means spiritually because they're not on the same track as you, they may try to pull you back in or keep you down or keep you from changing, not because they're bad people, but because they're not part of the Lightworker Collective or they're not part of your specific group in Ascension and how you're graduating spiritually. They're afraid to lose you. They don't want to see you grow because you're going to outgrow them. And then what did they do? And they don't feel super capable. This is like very subconscious for most of them. I don't feel like they're probably doing this avidly unless you've got psychotic people around you, which you'll know if you do. I'm talking more to the family unit that you might already get along with. Okay, let me tune in for a sec here. What do we most need to know right now? They're kind of bypassing some of the family stuff. I think that message was delivered. Akashic records. Okay, so I'm going to try to break this down because they're just giving me bite-sized pieces. They said, be wise and make haste. I know what they mean with things like that to me personally, but I'm just going to ask them to we're going to kind of break it off, massage it, and jump into it. For those of you that don't know, I will continually explain and explore my channeling process. The channel's always a little bit different. Depends on what state I'm in, what frequency I'm in, what frequency they're in, how they want to communicate, and how that message is delivered to you. Sometimes they do just deliver like bite-sized phrases to me because they know that I have the capability of unpacking the phrases, and it's much more potent to give me like a single phrase than it is to give me the entire frequency and explain it sometimes. Oh, thanks for all the hearts. Okay. Explain the be wise. That tells me discernment. They're showing me a video game. Okay, so here, I'm going to keep my eyes closed because I just want to stay in the front. So there's a lot of energy moving towards you guys, a lot of options. For those of you that understand tarot, it's the 8 of Wands. There's just like lots and lots of communication, lots of energy. A lot of that communication is psychic. A lot of that communication is subconscious, but nonetheless, it's coming at you. And that's a lot of conflict and a lot of opportunity. And there's something about this time period right now, about this like graduation protocol. They're not testing you on purpose, but it's more like you're being tested for your proficiency and your ability to understand who you are and how to function within your world as you. So the discernment is really, it matters a tremendous amount. When they say be wise, they're saying use practical discernment, which is a combination of intuition and logic. All right. They don't actually compete. People see them as competition, but logic actually does support intuition a lot. And intuition does frequently support logic. They're asking for you to use both to navigate this week. And I anticipate that this is a beyond, like probably all summer. the technique that would need to be used. Let me just see. They're saying like the next 3 weeks. All right, so there's a ton of energy coming towards you, a ton of opportunity, a ton of psychic current, a ton of invisible conversations, a ton of downloads, a ton of direction, a ton of distraction, a ton of distraction. They're showing me distraction and opportunity, and they're showing me that all of the wands or all of the types of opportunity and communication look the same. So it's up to you to use your intuition, your gut, your heart, and your logic. And I don't mean logic from the place of overthinking. I mean logic from the place of, what's the least common denominator? What do these things all have in common and what's not in common, and boot the thing that's not in common out? Like, what is the most likely probability? If I were in that person's shoes, how would I think? Like, literally be as, use your common sense as clearly as you can. Common sense is frequently also another way of receiving intuition. It's not the end all be all, but if you do find that the common sense and your gut, your intuition are saying the same thing, if they are in total agreement, then that is the answer. Okay? If your heart, your gut, and your mind can all agree, that's the most spiritual intuition, like solid decision making you can possibly do or be or have. Okay, so there's tons of energy, tons of opportunity, tons of communication coming towards you guys, to the point where they said make haste was the second half of that phrase, which means that if you don't have the capability of making rapid decisions, and this is where you want to pray for speed and accuracy. That's one of the prayers they have me do every day. I pray for speed and accuracy, which helps your subconscious mind make the fastest decision that is accurate for you, so that you don't get mixed up in the spider web of something that you don't belong in. Where is I going with that? Make haste. Make haste. So you have to make the decisions quickly. You can't sit on a decision. If you sit on a decision, you're going to lose. You're going to choose a lower timeline. That's what all of this has to do. For those of you that want the metaphysical talk, I'll go into it because God knows I love it. The speed of these decisions have everything to do with you quantum leaping. They have everything to do with your process of automatic subconscious selection for what timeline you're going to be riding through. Now, the fact that there's such a level of emphasis on the speed tells me that we are at, wait, they're showing me speed bumps too. So we're gonna have to cover the slow down as well. I don't have a pen. Somebody pin that and tell me later. Slow down is something we have to tap into. I wish I had a pen. You might feel like you don't have all the resources available. Like literally, I'm like, I know myself, and I'm like, I need to write that down. I need a pen, and I don't have a pen, and I'm like, I don't want to take the camera and walk around. Like this is literally the interference that's running. Also, they're pressing that we're just gonna start here. This is clearly the more important message. They're showing me speed bumps. Wait, there are two thoughts going here. Okay, one, the rapid decisions have to do with you selecting your timelines, which tells me that there's more energetic pressure in the quantum right now to choose high. Oh, they said we were being tested. I don't understand why. But you want to choose the higher timeline, choose the higher timeline, choose the higher timeline, choose the higher timeline. It's like catching a train at the right time, and that train is going to the location that you want to go. Something just happened outside that just grabbed my attention, so I know that that was really accurate. Okay, so this, we go through, you guys will hear me say this throughout the year. I just don't know when they're all happening until I channel like this. There are certain time periods during the year where there's like a week at a time. This year, I think this might be the second time that it's happened, where we have the ability to quantum leap or quantum jump very, very, very quickly, where big portals open up in the quantum, and within like 7 days, you can all of a sudden just be in a totally different effing energetic reality in 2 weeks. These are times to, like, you're doing big soul contract changes. You could be changing your career. You could be really, it's like leapfrogging. You're avoiding massive conflict, avoiding chaos, and jumping straight into a paradise, whatever that paradise is. Sometimes that paradise is literally just a reality with peace of mind, free from conflict. Sometimes that paradise, oh no, it is peace of mind. That's what we're going for right now. Because they're showing me even big opportunities when we get big windfalls in any way, shape, or form from the universe, that actually creates its own sort of chaos. And they're telling me to guide you to ride the serenity wave. It's too, it's like hostile, the energy. Okay, so be careful about like leaping up too high. My guides coach me around this all the time. And it's kind of, they kind of talk about it like it's doing drugs. Like, they're like, be careful about, you can ride a high, you can take a high naturally, but don't try to get a high, is what my guides always say. And you can get high by, it's essentially forcing or manipulating an energy up into a high frequency that you can't sustain, because you need to feel a high in order to feel okay. When the reality is that if you are surfing, okay, and I love the metaphor of surfing. If you're surfing and you're not riding the high, which is to catch a wave, and you're just like looking at the water and you're like, oh, there are no waves right now, or they're really little waves, there's nothing to surf. Like, don't force a high. Like, there's no point. That's what they're showing me. It's like, sometimes you just sit your ass in the water, you're just waiting for a while. Like, you're just like hanging out. And that's part of the surf. That's part of quantum leaping, quantum jumping. It's part of creating a reality you prefer and that you love. That's not like physically oriented as far as taking step A, B, C, D, E, like all really logical, which is a very slow process. If anyone truly took that process, it would take like years to actually like make some decent money and stuff, like, and that stuff can kind of happen overnight with some quantum leaps. All right, where do we want to go there? Let's see. That has to do with, it's like you're selecting your timeline track right now, and there's a lot of momentum behind you. I think, this tells me that we've been doing a lot of clearing. Whenever we drop a lot of big energetic baggage, we're given a ton of energetic speed. All right, that speed is how we move through the quantum, and the direction matters a whole ton. It matters a ton. It's a big deal. So the direction that you're going with your energetic momentum, your energetic speed, is that direction from an unconscious place? Was it selected by a member of your family? That's why they brought up the family, in order to keep you safe and small next to them, coherent with their belief structures. There is actually a lot of family conflict I'm seeing coming into the field, so just be mindful about that. Or are you going to create that clarity and direction based on where you want your life to go, like what you want to build, who you want to be? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be someone that's conforming yourself to somebody else's values to make them feel comfortable? Or do you want to expand? I choose expansion. Pray for peace of mind, because sometimes that expansion could be a little too much, a little too fast. So that's why they're telling me, be wise and make haste, okay? Use your discernment to swat away anything that is insanity, okay? To deny insanity is to accept serenity. Serenity is the wave right now. Serenity is the peace of mind. If you can maintain serenity, you're going to be in a good place. Essentially, the serenity is the baseline of the new higher set of timelines that we're walking into. stand your ground. I'm seeing that clearly as well, which tells me that some of you are going through tower moments. Some of you are having a rug pulled out from under your feet. Some of you are going through conflict. None of this is said to scare you. It is literally just whenever it shows up, just see it as a product of your graduation and know that you are being tested. And the test is, will you select chaos or will you select serenity? Will you select insanity or will you select serenity? If you treat this next week specifically, this is leading up to the full moon, and then over the next few weeks, if you treat every decision and everything that you focus on as insanity or serenity and choose based on that, you're going to be in a very, very safe position. If you're not actively choosing serenity, they're telling me it is this black and white, you're choosing insanity. If you are giving insanity attention, you are sacrificing serenity. These are the two major portal points, I would say, or timelines. They're showing me a train. It's a bullet train. It's moving very fast. And it has to choose a higher or a lower timeline, a higher or a lower track. When you're moving with that much speed, which all of you are, the collective is, those decisions have to be made quickly, and 80% of your decisions need to fall into the higher timeline in order for you to concretely select that timeline. This is, again, not to spread any level of fear. I'm literally just explaining the energetics and the metaphysics because that's what I do, and because I know a certain amount of you will geek out on it like I do. Okay. The simple thing I can say is just like choose peace of mind this week and like give 0 fucks and have a good week. That's the human side, okay? Then there's like the metaphysical side where I'm actually explaining the mechanics of the energy waves. You know, I essentially call myself like a mechanical engineer or like an architect. I'm always watching the mechanics of how reality constructs itself, and I find it fascinating. I know it's very heady for a lot of people, but if anyone wants to know, I'm here to explain some of the mechanics and then some of the human, because if we stay too mechanical, then we don't know how to apply it as a human. If we go too mechanical, then we get so heady, we float away somewhere. We forget what we're doing down here. You know, it's all about temperance, all about balance, constant balance. All right, I'm going to repeat this one more time because I feel like it was strong and needs to be resaid. You are choosing in between insanity and serenity. If you choose, if you choose to give, and they're using the word insanity, that coming from that Seinfeld reference. Maybe go watch that episode also. It's hilarious. Hold on, they're bringing Seinfeld forward again to me. Neuroses. Neurotic. Watch for neurotic behavior in yourself and others and try to curb the neuroses. If you're being neurotic, it's a level of insanity. So it's being able to see when you're being neurotic, which is to be in like a little spinning chaotic vortex about things that you think that matter that don't matter. It's attention to detail to the wrong things. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being neurotic. This is just the channel. Insanity later. If you can put it off, put it off. Put off the chaos. Don't give chaos or conflict any attention if you can manage it. Whatever's going to keep you in your lane. They're specifically saying stay in your lane, and they're showing me a Mack truck. Like if you're going to go change lanes, you can't, in this case, you're the Mack truck. You can't just like peel out. Like you have a ton of mass and momentum and weight with movement and trajectory behind you as a Mack truck, okay? These are also big compliments from Spirit. They're telling you guys that you're very proficient, that you've got a lot going on. Like when they call you a Mack truck and a bullet train, they're like, they have big spiritual mass. They don't even know they have it. Like spiritual mass means you're carrying a lot of, it's like gold. Like you're full. You've got a lot going on. Spiritual mass, it's just like physics, but I don't know the specifics for physics because I was not a science nerd, really. Like the mass of the object plus like whatever amount of speed and the amount of time that it's been moving, like creates an acceleration, right? depending on the amount of friction, well, depending on where the friction is, even could speed it up or slow it down. So, hi, sweetheart. Did you say Australia or Austria? Either way, I'm happy to have you here. I don't know what time it is there, but I am in Los Angeles, as always, sunny LA. So yeah, you guys have a ton of momentum, which tells me you've been doing very, very well. You've been meeting what I call checkpoints, energetic checkpoints or gates, where we're supposed to, in order for us to maintain our tracks on our timelines, in order to like escalate, jump timelines in the right way, shape, and form, there are certain, what I call gates or portals that we need to meet, which means you have to have a certain amount of like work done consciously before you get to each portal in order to make it through. Now let me think about what would you guys call that work? They're telling me it's the ability to make ends meet, but I want to talk about that in a couple of ways, because again, spirit gives me phrases that are, it's spirit talk. The ability to make ends meet is met, yes, as a human, and yes, there is priority on that. Your ability to make ends meet is very important. Also, thank you. Spirit has catered. Listen, the Akashic Records, I've been channeling for so long, and this stuff, you guys know, like, I'm always like, make it human, make it human. You guys don't pay rent, we pay rent, figure that out. Like, because Spirit will give you advice that's not necessarily human. Like, they'll give you advice that maybe would prevent you from doing what you need to do here, because they count on us having our security in place and our intention, our knowledge of what it is to be human. They think we're the experts in it. The Akashic Records just catered the message to the human. They just said to me, no, the human priority is the most important. There's a ton of energetic momentum and waves that are coming through, and we want to make sure that you're not swept up in the current, ending up somewhere in the clouds. Have emphasis and priority on making ends meet. Maybe not in the way that you guys think as well, because that's being added in. Because, you know, as humans, we're like, make ends meet. That means I have to take some shitty job. I gotta, blah, 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 you know, whatever it is. Or I gotta work the 9 to 5 at a place I hate. All of that is kind of nonsense as well. Because Spirit's like, you don't have to do something you hate in order to make ends meet. You just have to figure out your reality. You just have to focus on your priorities. You just have to take the attention away from distraction. Some of you need to hear this because they're channeling it through. I would never do a call out like this as Emelina. Some of you need to stop drinking on the weekends, stop partying as much as you party, and get your ass together and say, if I'm working a job that I hate and I'm partying a metric F ton, like, hello, you're like pulling yourself in two different directions. Spirit's coming through real loud right now. A lot of you need to hear this. Like, you can't sit in a little cesspool of emotional bullshit and say, I hate my life, I have to work this job that I hate, and then go party on every weekend, or like even 2 weekends a month. Like, they're telling me to tell you my experience as well. Like, if you care about your life and you don't want to hate your life, then stop practicing escapism techniques. It's like, focus, get your priorities in place and say, I don't want to hate my life, whatever the hate is, whatever area is very unclear for you, and you're going to learn how to make ends meet. Make ends meet doesn't mean sacrificing yourself for a 9 to 5. Again, that's not bad. If that's your lane and you love your job, do it. Power to you. I'm more saying, like, I'm trying to find these standard tropes right now, you know, of normal collective behavior, just to pull on for you guys. A lot of people hate like the corporate 9 to 5 grind and will just do it just to make the money, but then they're spending a lot of their time, they're wasting their downtime trying to let off steam in order to make up for the fact that they're doing something they hate doing that is soul sucking. Now, that's an old human program. It's not bad, it's just not going to move you forward. Spirit is saying, if you take this track now and you learn how to focus and prioritize your attention, you can make ends meet in a way that supports your overall health, but you'd have to release or sacrifice something. In this case, the example they're giving me, and apply it to any area of chaos in your life, okay, or escapism. They're saying what needs to be sacrificed is the partying. It is the wasted time. Okay. What they asked me to tell you guys, probably none of you know. I was like, for those of you that don't know, but actually, I don't know that only my close friends know this shit about me. I spent my 20s hauling ass, you guys. I didn't do jack. I worked my ass off so that I could be in a position right now where I'm talking to you on screen where this feels like it's no big deal, because I spent 16 years healing, understanding money, understanding how to build online businesses. I became an expert in marketing. I've helped multi-millionaire people that you guys know that I will not name on screen because I had to sign disclaimer, whatever they, and oh my gosh, my brain is so, it's so funny when you get to spirit talk, like the human brain shuts off, where you're not allowed to talk about it, okay? Whatever that contract is. Like, I had to learn so much because I was brought up in like, and you know, like kudos to the good things I got in my parental environment as well when I grew up. Like they did give me some positive career moves for myself that I really grew myself from. But because I came from such a level of disgust and chaos and trauma, okay, you guys, I don't look like it. I look like a little angel. Okay, I'd say high functioning, but healed. I'm very healed. Nobody knows where I came from. Like the level of chaos, if you guys had any idea, please. I make healing look very graceful because I've been doing it for 16 years. Their point anyway is you have to think about what you're willing to give up. Like I was willing to give up my 20s. I was willing to give up my weekends because I wanted to heal. Like, I wanted to build a business because I wanted to be financially free. I didn't want to be stuck relying on codependent, traumatic relationships in order to get by. And that's what my cards were coming into this life. Like, what I was given was a shitty deal, okay? Now, I hope that I'm the poster child to be shown that for every need, there's fulfillment. Like, and I was talking to like the first shaman I started working with, he's a dear friend of mine. I started working with him when I was like 22 maybe. And I was telling him last week, I was like, you know, whenever there's a need, because he was congratulating me on some big progress that I've just had. And I was like, you know, it's like crazy to think that I have these opportunities now, but I had to go through shit to get here. And that's not to say you have to go through shit to get anywhere. It's more like me saying, if you are given a shitty card deal from the universe, it creates an automatic need in your psychological and emotional and spiritual system that says, I now need something in exchange for this trauma, in exchange for this terrible whatever, in exchange for whatever I've lived through. There is now an automatic need to be lifted out of it for prosperity, for the opposite. The opposite exists. And when we live through any level of discomfort, disgust, trauma, the need becomes an automatic spiritual need. To have the need is to have it fulfilled. I don't know how else to explain this. I will dive into it in more streams. It's a very, very spiritual concept, okay? In the quantum and in the present moment, whenever you have a need, there's also it's being filled. So because I came from such a crazy background, I was given, Spirit gave me the motivation, the knowledge, the focus. I don't know where the hell it came from. Nobody sat me down and was like, this is how you get out of trauma, Emelina. Like, this is what it is. Like, I don't know where it came from. God. Like, you know, when you have a need, it's filled. Because I had such a difficult background, infinite intelligence gave me a mind that could navigate severe conflict and find my way out. Infinite intelligence gave me a mind that said, I know that they're partying. I'm sober. I'm not going to do that because I'm watching where they're all going and they're creating train wrecks out of their life. And that's cool when you have a trust fund or any, I don't know, no negative anything to any level of wealth, but like that's cool when you have room to screw up. But when you're coming out of an underdog status, and you need to very quickly be alert to the point of being able to build yourself into where you want to go or who you want to become, because it didn't come naturally. It wasn't given to you. You have to self-create it. And to self-create is to create with God. It's to create with infinite intelligence. Then you have to know that that work has to be put in, which means you have to be hyper present to the moment to understand your focus on your intentions, your focus on your priorities, in order to self-elevate your personal status. And that status is like, it's not necessarily material, although I am blending it. This is a very material-ish conversation. It's just like, what Spirit's saying to me is that I didn't even realize, I don't explain a lot of the common sense. I explain the energetics of things. And I think what you guys don't know about me is just how effing practical I am. The level of common sense that I have had my whole life is very high. I also can have my head in the clouds. I can bridge both aspects of the worlds, but I did dedicate 16 years to learning and practicing digital marketing. I ran my own digital marketing agency, social media marketing, personal branding, because I understood that that was going to be the way for me to break myself off to do what I wanted when I wanted financially, to be able to provide for myself, to be able to make ends meet. Now, replace that with whatever it is that you want to do. If it's building an online business, do it. Honestly, it's getting easier and easier and easier and easier. For those of you that have 9-to-5s and you want to save some money, start a business, get a hobby going, do something online so that you could write off a certain amount for taxes so that you don't have to pay as much in tax. Like, there are so many loopholes for things. I'm shocked that they're sending it through in this way. This channel is a very physical, practical channel. I'm really grateful for it. Because I normally wouldn't talk like this. I wouldn't even share these things, although they're very practical and beautiful and wonderful, and I think about them. It's important to think about where you want to go and reverse engineer yourself there in whatever way you need to. That's not implying any level of burnout. It's not implying that you can't go on vacation, and it's not implying you can't hang out with friends. The point is, balance. How much of what are you doing? If you want a better life, it's likely going to cost money. So how are you going to create that? Are you going to continue struggling? There's too many of you are struggling. I'm seeing a lot of struggling. Spirit wants you to stop struggling financially. They want you to make ends meet, and they want you to make this transition in one way or another. Whether it takes a year or whether it takes 10 years, doesn't matter as much as the fact that you're just doing it, that you're moving forward. Like, my process at this point, you know, I mean, if I were to go back, I'd be talking to my 20-year-old self. I graduated college when I was 20, you guys. I haul ass like it's my job. Like, I graduated in 3 years instead of 4. And I didn't even do it on purpose. That's like a whole nother thing. Like, literally my only gear is forward and fast. So that's like, that's it. But I graduated college when I was 20. That's when all of this stuff started unpacking for me. It really started escalating by the time I was 23. I was doing a lot of research on wealth consciousness before it was popular. Like, all the stuff on The Secret. Like, I was like, man, I was on top of all of it pretty heavily. And I didn't really care that if people thought I was nuts or not, because I was just like, I don't know, this just makes sense to me. Like, it just makes sense. And I listened to my spirit, which will come across, you know, when you're present. Just to give you guys some examples, because that's where they're taking me right now, to share the examples. When you're present and you don't, let's say you guys don't have the psychic skills that I have. There were times in my life where I wasn't aware to those psychic skills. As long as you're present and you're grounded in the moment, it's less about like what's going on etherically, and it's more like pay attention in the moment. Like, I had a friend really press me time and time again. She was like, I really think you need to learn Reiki. She was like, I just really feel like you'd be good at it. And I was like, Reiki, what is that? That's like that nonsense where they wave over you. That doesn't do anything. And I was like, please. Anyway, she really pressed it. And because I am intuitive, I was like, you know what? I don't believe in this stuff. Again, I was 20, okay? I believe in it now, and I do have my Reiki certifications that I got when I was 20. It was my gateway into this work, if I'm gonna be honest. That and Ashtanga yoga. And the only way that my friend got me into Ashtanga yoga were headstands. That was it. She was like, I know you like to do headstands. She was like, well, we do them in yoga. There was no way I was going to show up for yoga. If you guys met me as like a 17-year-old, you'd be like, how did she end up in this line of work? I was such a punk. Like, I was like, I don't meditate. Please. That's for losers. I was like, what? Yoga? No, I don't need yoga. I've got my mind. Thank you. Now you're seeing how I grew up. Anyway, if you're present, pay attention to what people are saying around you. Not all people's advice is good advice. You do have to be like very in tune and in center with yourself. One of my dear friends was like, you should do Reiki. Because I'm not closed-minded, I tried it. And I didn't know if it was working, but I practiced it because something about it felt good. And I kept doing that, and I kept stacking more and more skills. I've always been a painter, an artist, and art is how I channel. It's a lot of how I channel. So at that time in my life, I was doing a lot of art. Maybe that's a practical way you can start to become present and work with your intuitive channel as well. Now, I'm seeing how dark it's getting, so I'm gonna turn the lights on. Hold on. I might invite a puppy into the frame as well. Oh, and then there was light. Lucky, sweetheart, you wanna come on camera? Do you guys wanna meet Lucky? This is how you know it's a live stream. I'm at an hour and I'm channeling, or we could just hang out with the dog. Do you want to go on camera? Is it okay if I show you? Also, always ask permission. You know? Sweetheart, do you mind if I show you on camera? Just for a second? Maybe? Had your good vibes? Here's the lucky boy. Best guard dog ever, too. You guys heard him in the beginning of the stream. Sweet boy. He's such a sweet boy. Okay. I feel like I could probably wrap, but let me tune in with the records and see if they've got anything else here. Make ends meet. And that's what they were bringing through. The other way that you make ends meet is energetic. It's not always a physical thing. They gave it to me to interpret in 2 different ways. So, oh yeah, thank you. Speed bumps. I do want to, you guys are the best. I do want to address that. Okay, so making, I think these 2 things are related. So making ends meet is the physical way that I just explained to you guys, where I feel like I kind of gently called you out by explaining my experience, because I forget that I've done the things. So now it looks like I'm like running around like a little fairy, maybe, or maybe it doesn't, I don't know, as an energetic channel, but I promise you I have put in my time. I've put in my work. On that tone again, they're reminding me it's really about balance. Like, take your vacations, go out with your friends, go out drinking and party if you want to, like, go do your thing, enjoy your life, have fun. But if you're complaining about your life, if you hate your life, if you're in steep depression, if you don't like what you're doing 80% of the time, then maybe consider shelving the partying, shelving some of the more not that vacations are an issue, but more the escapism at the collective level, and hunker down, you guys. Put in the work. Sit down, do the research. Like, art channeling, yes, amazing. You know, start researching how to build an online business. It's honestly, it's not that hard. It's not that hard in 2024. It's not. Start a YouTube channel, start talking about whatever it is that you offer, whether it's art, whether it's channeling, whether it's like making jewelry. Publish those videos regularly. Search viral trends on social media content platforms. Search evergreen trends on social media platforms. These can all be done in YouTube. You can just, little YouTube university here. Get all your content for free, watch it on the nights and weekends, and then research wealth consciousness. Listen to wealth consciousness videos and subliminals over and over and over and over and over again until your brain thinks in terms of prosperity. Oh my gosh, I'm giving you like everything I did in my 20s. Then practice it. Get good at managing conflict with humans, because when you're living your best life, you piss people off naturally. It's just part of the process. You know, like, you got to teach people how to wear sunglasses for your shiny ass bright light, and get very firm and strong and unwavering. Make ends meet. Make ends meet is also a spiritual thing. How much of your time are you also dedicating to your spirituality, to your serenity, to creating your peace of mind, to make sure they are using this terminology, clearly they're doing it on purpose, to make sure you are unfuckable with. Okay? You can't be knocked over, and that comes down to your ability to be in total complete balance spiritually, so that when somebody comes to knock you around, that they can't knock you off balance. The other thing that I don't remember, I don't think I said this card, but they also pulled, I pray to know how lucky I am, which I think is why we needed to show Lucky Boy on camera. You're so lucky because you're going to be given the right, like, intuitive hits, like what to do when in the moments that you need to be able to choose away from insanity, away from chaos, away from conflict, and choose towards serenity, balance, peace, ease, prosperity. Your prosperity is on the side of balance, not on the side of insanity. Insanity and scarcity could be seen as the same thing. Stuff you don't want anything to do with. All right, you guys, tune me into the speed bumps. Oh, they told me that they addressed it. The speed bumps were, it's like this, oh my gosh, how do I explain this? It's like the energy where when you're doing something you don't want to do, you then create a ton of momentum in the other direction to like let off steam, whether it's partying, drugs, they're showing me just to tell you the experience of Los Angeles. Hi, sweetie. How are you? We got the other puppy is now here. Hi. I love these dogs right now. They remind me to be hyper present. Hi. You're being such a... Oh, you are being such a good girl. Well, why are you going to yell at me if you're coming down by my feet? Okay, listen. That's like... It's like part of this too. The escapism equals speed bumps. It's more kind of... So the escapism is when you're springing off in another direction. And the speed bumps are there to say, slow down before you go running into any levels of escapism. Like, slow yourself down, get centered, do your spiritual practice, whatever that spiritual practice is for you, whether it's meditation, whether it's yoga. I'm like searching, like, what else do you guys got? It's mostly like that. It's movement, or it's like some sort of meditation, breath work, breathing, pranayama. To slow yourself down, even for a moment, so that you don't race off into a level of escapism. I will add, limerence is also a form of escapism, love addiction, toxic relationship addiction. Like, oh, we go through everything as humans, huh? And another level of escapism or toxicity that doesn't come with substance that I feel like is often overlooked is over relying on humans to tell you what to do, when to do it. Like it's escapism through reducing your own power, not trusting your own power, your ability to make your decisions from a concrete place, getting a million opinions from everyone else, distributing your energy like Swiss cheese to everybody else. You want a really clear, defined auric field that is strong. All right. You want your energy to be strong. Addictions can come in many, many different ways. They can look like a sex addiction, even like where you're just sending your emotional power out to different love interests. Sexually, that's a mess. Energetically, if with sex addictions, substance abuse is a mess. Energetically, physically, all the ways. Partying, toxic behavior. They're really just showing toxic behaviors, and they're just having me spell out what those toxic behaviors are. They are bringing me to one more example, and then I think I'm going to tell them I want to cut this off because we're already past an hour. So spirit will keep going if you don't set boundaries, right? Like anything. But I'm going to give you this example because I feel like it's a potent one. When people come to Los Angeles, I wasn't really like this. I came for different reasons. But when people come to Los Angeles, it's because they're chasing a dream. Not that I wasn't chasing a dream, but it's different. The dream for Los Angeles is making it. It is becoming an actor. It is becoming well-known or a celebrity, something like that. Here's what happens. A lot of people come to Los Angeles with big, excited eyes. Like just, they're also a little naive in the sweetest ways. It's a level of innocence when most people come to Los Angeles, like they're chasing their heart. They're tapping into who they want to become, regardless of their circumstances. It's the dream. It's making yourself into someone new, making yourself into who you want to become, and being known for that. Now, I'll skim through the comments after too. So when people come to Los Angeles, that's what they come for. Now here's the reality of Los Angeles, okay? Yes, you can pursue your dreams. Yes, you can be made here. Yes, it is a beautiful metropolitan area that I have come to adore. And something that I think, I've been living in LA for a long time, but something in me missed this part of LA because I am a New Yorker. And New Yorkers have a different way of thinking about things. Not that you can't get lost in New York, but it's much more in your face. Los Angeles has a very seductive way of tying you up into toxic shit. I haven't participated in any of it. It's easy for me to see because I'm a New Yorker. Most of the New Yorkers I know in LA are very grounded and don't really get swept up in it at all. But they're giving me this example on purpose. It's when people go out to chase their dreams and then they get seduced into giving up their dreams for the chase of escapism, which is literally to give up their dreams through the escape, through the drugs, through the alcohol, through the toxic behaviors, through the sex, through the parties, through the, how would I even explain this? What is it called when people chase celebrities? Through the like air of like, oh my God, that's an important person. Who cares? I meet celebrities all the time. Who cares? Like, I met a cool one. Okay, side note. I met a cool one the other day. I wouldn't say celebrity, but like, really, like I ran into Mark Rabillet. And I literally at a bookstore, and I was like, hold on. I was like, can I ask you a silly question? I was like, are you a YouTuber? And he was like, yeah, I like yell and scream on camera for money. I was like, yeah. I was like, God damn, I think you woke me up every day during COVID because he's got this wake up. Look it up. Mark Rabillet, wake up. Anyway, it's hilarious. Anyway, like celebrities like aren't that big of a deal. They're just like around. They're humans. They do everything that we do. They just, I don't know, are more well known. Anyway, there's this idea in LA, not just idea, it's like a reality where you get lost, you get swept up in the escapism. Did you say, yeah, I love his music and personality. He was very sweet in person. I was like, okay, solid. Like this dude's like, I don't know, some level of straight shooter in my couple of minute conversation. Anyway, so the point is, when you're chasing the dream, don't get swept up in the idea that the dream is cheap, easy, comes with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's how you lose yourself. The dream is work. The dream is focus. The dream is dedication. The dream is having priorities and knowing where to focus your attention, knowing how to swat away anything that looks like insanity, and knowing where to focus your attention on what is beautifully practical for yourself in both your spirit as well as making ends meet in your body. And again, they're bringing my attention again to the making ends meet spiritually is taking care of yourself spiritually. For those of you that need to hear it, you need a daily spiritual practice. I don't normally emphasize that because I forget that people don't do it, but maybe I'll create another video on an easy daily spiritual practice. I will pin that in my head for later. You need a daily spiritual practice. This is not a weekly thing. For those of you that go to church and have other religions, great, but you need a daily spiritual practice. Like, do you shower daily? You eat daily? Well, you got to do your spirit work daily. So, you know, cleaning your auric field, working on keeping your energy very strong. If you want something to help you with that, the Rainbow Sacred Flame of Creation is a download I have that is free. It's a 45-minute meditation that you can grab in my description below that you can build in your solar plexus at any time after you watch it. It is a rainbow flame in your solar plexus that will reestablish your source connection, strengthen your auric field. It's very easy. And once you go through it, you could do it at any time. I would do it every day just to strengthen your own personal energy, to keep vampires out. That message just came in. Oh, that's why they were showing me the LA culture. Vampires. It also could be in your family. It's whatever. It's like whoever's reaching at you like, here, just eat this poison apple. It's so good. Just take these drugs. Like, oh my God, it's going to feel so bad, but it's going to feel so good. And it's like enough with the seduction and like get straight to spirit. And spirit is saying, if it looks like insanity, if it comes with drugs, self-sacrifice, persuasion, like get it the F out of here. They're saying it's so strong. So this is about a lot of you guys. They're showing me this huge wave of light workers being carried up into a higher frequency collectively together, where the light workers are able to do light working energy, which you're not going to be very good at doing light worker energy if you're tied up in shit that you hate on the day-to-day basis. That siphons off your energy like it's vampiric. Okay, let me pause that there. There was a comment I did want to answer. And then I will ask them if they have any parting notes here. Oh, groupies was the word. There's another word for it. I forget what it's called. How do you commit to or choose one direction with all of the distractions? Okay, so I covered this earlier, so definitely rewatch the beginning too. How do you commit to or choose one direction with all the distractions? You choose what's important to you. You create a list of priorities, 3 to 6 priorities, and you revisit those priorities every day. And you say, if it doesn't fit in these priorities, I'm kicking it the F out of my life. I don't really care who's going to be pissed off about it. Obviously, try to make it gentle just for yourself. I will say from practical experience that I used to make quantum leaping. Oh my gosh, I would do these huge leaps. Like I've done it so many times where I'm just like, when I made a decision to move from New York to LA, I made the decision. I sent a couple of emails to a couple celebrity coaches. I had a job within 3 days. I called them, negotiated them flying me out, tried to negotiate an apartment. Like I had no shame. And I moved from the point of me making the decision, I moved 6 days later. I'm known to do things like that. I don't like making that drastic of shifts anymore because they're very jarring on my body. So now I tell spirit, I'm like, okay, like how about a 6-month nice, like steady incline? Like, so it's like be conscious about your priorities. You don't have to make the decisions like cutthroat, but it's like make the decisions, okay? If it's gonna be a little bit more of a ramp up, that's great too, energetically. Whatever feels safe for you, but ultimately it's about knowing your priorities, knowing what's important to you. This is all about self-sovereignty, knowing what you're looking to build for your life. What legacy are you building? What is your empire? What does your life look like in 10 to 20 years? And that should be constantly on your mind. I know that mine have been constantly on my mind for the last 16 years. And I'm creating a new set of them and then building the next 20 years. And I am kind of thinking now in terms of like almost 15 to 20 year blocks, because now that I've lived through one, I know what that felt like. So I'm not saying it has to take that long or be that long, but it's more like if you want to have a nice gradual and steady increase to get where you want to go in 15 years, start now. Or you can scramble and not meet your goals in 15 years. It's just like, if you want to become a new version of yourself, maybe have a business online, maybe it's just having a happy life, maybe it's being married to the right partner, which I'll even say that too. Relationships, like it takes time to outgrow what you've been taught and to get in alignment with the right partner. Like all of this stuff takes time. So it's about making the decisions now to focus away from the lower timelines, which are anything that's insanity, anything that's chaos based. For whatever reason, that's the wave that we're on right now. Refocusing on your priorities, where you're going, where you want to go, and allowing spirit to take care of the rest. Allowing spirit to create miracles, to dissolve what needs to be dissolved, to heal overnight what needs to be healed. And a lot of that happens when you make these really positive choices towards your priorities. And allow spirit to knock some shit out of the park and give you what you need, when you didn't even know how to ask for it. How graceful and beautiful that is. All right, you guys, this is a long stream. I'm gonna leave it here. I adore all of you. Thank you for joining me for this. If you liked this video, please go give it a thumbs up below. And I would love if you shared this video with someone you know, love, and trust, somebody that you think would benefit from this channel. If it helped you, it will likely help a friend. I know I'm always sending things to my friends as well. Oh my gosh, you guys are so helpful in the comments. I love you guys so much. Amazing. Okay, remember to subscribe, tap the bell for notifications. If you enjoy my vibe and want to consider working with me, I will leave some links in the description below. I'm offering paintings now too, you guys. So I've been doing these channeled paintings that are like healing talismans that are like really incredible. I'll be posting some videos and things on them at some point in the future, very soon, I think, because I've been doing them for people. So you can send me an email below if you're interested in commissioned talisman artwork. I will send you all the info and some photos on that. I do have a couple spots left for Akashic Records readings. If you want to work with me and want a single session to get a breakthrough, you can email me below as well for that. I've got some meditation albums. I do private long-term transformational coaching that's extraordinary and amazing. For those of you that want to go deep dive with me, that's going to be a vibe. It is for a very specific type of person that is ready to completely change their life in a drastic way, with me as their reflection and their guide. For those of you that understand twin flame dynamics and soulmate relationships, the personal one-on-one work is kind of like having a twin flame that's not aggravating. Like I'm very good at being a clear reflection. I'm very, very gentle, loving, sweet, and safe about it. I compared it to twin flames because that's the purpose of twin flames, is to reflect. Yeah, twin flames. I have so much to say on twin flames. I'm over it. In the middle of that, I'm sending you so much love. When the soul decides to have twin flame contracts, I don't know. They're really just personal growth contracts, but we won't grow unless we're attracted. Man, it's a good way to pull growth out of us. I look forward to working with you. Oh, I would love that. You're welcome, Shelly. Yeah, I'll post more on twin flames. I've got some things to say, maybe this week. We'll see. Alrighty, you guys, lots of love. Thank you for joining me and for watching all the way through. For those of you that do watch all the way through, let me know in the comments below too, because I'm always curious. I'm like, do people just like skip through? Do they watch portions? Do you watch the whole thing, like a podcast? Anyway, I'm constantly learning on this platform. Okay, lots of love. Enjoy your week. Let me know what's going on, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. Oh, I'm glad you found me too. Love you guys.